All right, then I'll call to order town council meeting for Town of Fontana Dam, March 20th. We're going to call to order 5:37. All right. With the agenda, anybody have any adjustments to that, comments, modifications? Otherwise, entertaining a motion to approve that.
I propose a motion to approve the agenda as stated.
Thanks, Lacy. All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right. I'm gonna turn off the music.
I think they do.
Yeah, I can't hear it. Yeah.
It's probably from out faster, maybe.
So,
Good, shut the door. Good one. I just don't want to disturb anybody out there. I'm not worried about them disturbing us.
all right, February minutes. I didn't see anything when I looked at them a little earlier. Anybody's got any comments or changes to that, speak now? Otherwise, entertaining motions. Thanks, Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
That's that. Aye. Public, we've got, pretty much, I guess, our same, two suspects over here. Kevin from the paper, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Glad
Anything
to be here.
going on the paper side we should be aware of?
Our wonderfully awesome Easter Babies contest is in next week's edition, so everyone make sure they grab a copy.
All right.
That's usually our biggest selling
And
edition.
we're putting that, where I went over to the school, we're gonna put that in next week
Yes.
as well. So it's
Thank
right
you,
before
Zell.
Easter,
Yes.
And we can get that plug in there.
Great.
I thought it'd be better to wait until we could freshen people. This stuff will slip people's minds, so I thought it'd be easier to go, hey, let's do it the week of Easter, so we can go, oh, and P.S., they're doing a gigantic Easter egg hunt at Fontana, so,
Good deal.
which I will be here to cover. Oh, my pleasure. And I hope that all the advertising you guys have done will help
Yeah,
attendance as
we
well,
were,
so thank you guys for that.
discussing Photo options
Yes.
with the little kids and stuff, so.
Sounds good. Jason, anything from the resort side you want to talk about during this period?
We are very excited that I won't call it a renovation because we're not done, but phase one of the revamp that we've done here at the lodge is going to be coming to an end, and we feel like making a strong push to be open earlier than what we expected. So we're trying to open Friday, March 29th. I'm calling it a grand opening and a soft opening, and we're gonna be making a push on social media to have people hopefully get a little traction, have them stay for Easter. And then we've got obviously all of our festivities around Easter. That Sunday has always done a good job helping with that. We're excited. It's been a lot of hard work with a lot of people and just a lot of moving parts. So this is, we're very excited for everyone to be able to see what it is we've been able to do.
Very nice. Thanks, Jason, for the update on everything. We look forward to seeing the beautiful improvements that have been made, and look forward to a wonderful season here in Fontana. All right, let's see. I guess we'll kick off some discussion here with Carrie with some water loss updates.
Well,
Any updates, or is it more the same?
we were doing a little bit better there for a few days, and we're back to normal. Loss. For February, we averaged 237,000 gallons per day.
237,000?
237,000 per day. And we averaged 14 hours a day. And the max day we had in February was 263,000. So,
Any idea if that coincided with a certain usage, or?
I'm thinking that's probably the little valve and stuff off and trying to fix leaks before we can get on a couple extra leaks. But I don't think they've repaired them yet, but that can be worked at all.
Gotcha. So, I
We
guess,
have some suspects, right, on where
Yes, we do.
some of this could be.
And just a comparison, this past February 2024, for the month, we produced 6.88 million gallons. Last February, we produced 4.7 million gallons.
Wow.
Quite a difference.
That's,
Quite a big difference.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
wow, yeah, that's,
It's a little under 2 million
yeah, about 40% increase, it
for
seems
the
like.
month.
Wow.
And in January last, and in January of 2024, we produced 7 million, a little over 7 million gallons. And in January of 23, we produced 5 million gallons, 5.2 million gallons. So about it's averaging out to a little around 2 million gallons extra the first 2 months of the year.
So it underscores the need to find these leaks as quickly as possible, and I think that's gonna dovetail with, you know, getting our relationship with engineering, you know, with Withers Ravenel going as quickly as possible, getting the grant kind of kicked off, getting that paperwork submitted. I think once we get that, if we can get an initial sort of subsurface investigation, pinpoint where it is, dig it up, see if we can handle it in-house or see if we're gonna have to sub it out. That's kind of the chain of events I see that we gotta try to make happen as quickly as possible, hopefully in the next month if we
Well, would it make sense, like, I know that, what's her name, Nicole had said about Jason, what was it that she said that they could come up and do a infrared or
I
something?
think that's
Sonar.
pretty expensive up in this. I talked to her about that, and it was gonna be rather expensive.
Is it? I was just wondering if there's something that we can move on now.
because of the rock and whatnot.
Yeah, I think from what I understood from her, it was not, I mean.
And that was my hope, if
the
we
cost
can,
was gonna be-
if we can do something like that, but we can do it under the grant terms, then we can use the grant funding to pay for that. But we've got a few hoops we gotta jump through with the engineering, sign off on that before we can gain access to that funding. So that's the critical
I think
path
there
right
might be
now.
better cost-effective ways to get the same results.
Okay. And we'll certainly work with engineers. If it's subsurface, if it's, like they were talking about, putting different sort of pressure sensors in different areas and looking for, you know, significant variations there, depending on when you're pumping and when you're not pumping. You know, there's a lot of possibilities, but being able to pay for it out of the grant, I think, is key, because we don't really have the funds and we don't want to put that on the resort. So, you know, trying to get things moving with
You know what I'm gonna do, I think tomorrow, I'm gonna call Olivia with ARC and see if we could use some of that funding to do an immediate
Yeah.
emergency
Yeah.
type thing
Yeah.
and see what we can do.
She would allow us kind of early sort of
Access to it, yeah.
You know, that would be nice.
I think I will do that.
We can at least figure out how quickly we can get the ball rolling there and gain access to that money. And, because I feel like if we can identify where it is, as long as it's not too tremendous, you know, it's a huge line, I think we can handle the repair potentially in-house. I mean,
The
it's-
thing of it is, I mean, what is gonna be, if she says yes, but how are you gonna go about identifying where it's at? How are we gonna go about identifying
Well, there's
that?
that, but here's the other thing with just repairing instead of replacing. If we have them, I mean, we know we've got a couple of pretty significant leaks. If we repair that, and the pressure's coming back up in the lines. Here lately, every time we've made a repair, 2 to 3 days later,
We've got
somewhere
another
else.
issue.
Yeah.
We're not, I mean, we've not gained any,
Oh, I agree.
we're not making
We
progress.
could create another problem somewhere else with the whack-a-mole situation. for
And
sure.
It's just so
my-
frustrating that nothing can seem to
And
be
I brought
done.
this up to the engineers, what happens if this place, if we can't get water to, I mean, because we're filling from going through the village all the way up to the tank, what happens when the 6-inch, when one of the 6-inch lines break, and we can't get water to our tank? Then the whole village is gonna be out of water,
I
and
agree.
no way to get water through to the village.
Which is why we were talking about possibly looking at, you know, replacing that one line that goes kind of through the disc golf. You know, we could potentially valve that off, do some work there, and they were talking about maybe going and creating an independent fill. They'd certainly have to do the engineering, we'd have to get the permitting, that might be something we might be able to do, since it's out of the way and not, obviously we'd have to talk with the resort about that. But since it's not directly in anything other than the disc golf course, and it wouldn't impede normal operations really, it might be something we could pursue.
Yes, I just want you to be aware that, it'd be great to repair some of this stuff, but the way things have been going with us repairing is just blowing something. I mean,
Oh, I agree.
we haven't,
But it's the only real option we have at the moment, so,
To even, I mean, like you said, it's probably gonna be, I don't know, when, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something, before we can even get anything. They've still gotta put in their bid, the engineer company does, and we gotta approve that. Before we can actually turn them loose on anything, we
I
gotta
feel
come
like we
to.
need to get some people on the phone, like, in the next day or two,
Yeah,
and say, where are we at in this process?
Yes.
well, the guy that's over the engineering is gone this week, that's why I haven't called him already. He's on vacation, he went out of the country,
and
so.
see, right now, we're producing more water than we did last summer when both pools were open.
Wow.
I know we realize we just have one pool this year, but that's gonna up honestly, we're looking at having to hire another operator. We're looking at 24 hours a day.
I don't know how long that plant will
That's not
handle that.
feasible.
Where things start deteriorating.
and I think we just have to, we can't, there's no miracle out there, unfortunately. I think we're just gonna have to keep working this problem as best we can, and that's, right now, it's the engineers, and we've gotta get that situated. I wish we could have gotten that process faster. We didn't really have a lot of submissions. We were also bound by a procedure and a protocol there, so.
Absolutely.
So, I think, like Jason said, we try to keep rattling the tree as much as we can. We just emphasize how imperative it is that we are able to try to repair this. It could create another problem. It may not. I don't think we can assume anything at this point. We just have to
So
work the
that we have a
problem.
very old system.
Yeah.
Presumably, they should be able to look a bit and know, when they start doing the study, they should be able to tell us.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely direct them to the areas that we know that
two
we got
areas that we
problems
have
with.
huge leaks,
Yeah.
whether it's one or a bunch of, we've got 2 areas.
And that's why, if we can gain access and we can get them to say, we would pursue this angle, we can potentially, contract with somebody to come in to help us find it. It doesn't really have to be directly under them if we need to expedite it. It's really, are they okay with it, and can we gain the funding to make it happen? Otherwise, we're spinning our wheels. We have to have the money to pay for it, and that's gonna come through the grant.
Right, it has to come through the grant, because we don't have it any other way.
That's why we have that grant, in my opinion, is to address some immediate problems and concerns. It's not gonna do a whole repair to the whole situation.
No.
It's just gonna help us get started and identify the most pressing concerns, hopefully fix those, and then outline our next plan, our overall sort of replacement plan. So I appreciate the update there. It's not good news, but, we're still running and we're still operating, and, we've got a little bit of time before the pool's gonna come up. I think
We
the
got
pool.
this much, we're only this deep.
Yeah, it's not over our head yet. But
Our nose isn't underwater,
yeah,
but,
the pool, are we looking, ideally, are we looking at probably a mid-May sort of fire up on that?
Probably Memorial Day, right week, right before.
But we'll probably be, a couple of weeks before, we'll probably be looking to fill it up and start.
We'll start the process.
Yeah.
I think when they run, I think last year they ran extra hoses into it, so I don't think it took about 24 hours. Whatever they had going to it to get it filled up. But
It's
it's
water.
a little bit
It's
of
gonna
good
make old
news.
people out of all of
What
us.
you got?
I am now a distribution operator.
Very nice.
So I need to level up, I'm at a C, and on the distribution side, I need to level up one more to a B, and on the wastewater side, I need to level up one more. And I will be able to, anything that needs, I can ORC anything.
And Dennis can too,
Yeah,
we'll have two.
Dennis will be able to.
So we've got
we'll
our
have-
backup ORC
Yeah.
We will
sort
have
of in-house.
everybody, Dennis and I will be both certified in everything that can handle any situation that needs an ORC in the village. You have two people that can do it,
Good.
That's always good to have a backup.
so.
Wonderful.
You pay for me.
I'm glad. First try?
Yeah, even, that Jason guy didn't do that on the first try, he had to go back and do it again, remember? I
Hey.
didn't say nothing about it.
Let me cut
You
this
just
off
did it
real quick.
first.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, anything else?
Yeah, it wasn't, I mean, I
Water,
shouldn't be, but it wasn't a hard test, I mean,
I was gonna say, you stay up all night studying, or like?
no.
Oh, okay, good. That's good.
I went to class back in July,
Oh,
and then I just did a practice test a couple of times, and,
cool.
I mean, the math on it was square, trying to find the square feet of something, it wasn't very difficult.
oh,
Okay.
okay. Not like you had to break out the HP 48, you know, and start figuring
Yeah.
things out, huh?
Yeah, it
A lot
had,
of
it
processing.
had to trick, there was like some stuff that was so simple that like, you got to be kidding me, and then they would work stuff where it could be an either. I've never had so many true false questions
Ooh.
on a state exam in my life.
So you have you second guessing.
And the way they would word it, it could really get witty, the situations could have.
Ooh, yeah.
That's right.
Are they trying to trick me, or is it straight up?
Just being mean about testing these things, just asking.
Good, well, let's keep working the problem, and, you know, that's really all we can do at this point. I feel confident if we can move forward with securing their services and getting this grants, you know, accessible, from a spending standpoint. I feel like we can move
Fingers
forward.
crossed that we can get some of this. Before I little cleanup.
Yeah, before we burn it up. Yeah, I mean, we're producing roughly half of its capacity right now, and we're running more than half a day, so
Yeah, 14 hours.
we're running a pretty good stress test on it.
Yeah, and, we've got, what is it, 2 weeks or 3 weeks before bookings come in?
So they start at 8, 9?
Yeah, so that's gonna really, this amount of loss, that's gonna strain our, people
your
and
demand will go
resources.
up for
Yeah,
sure.
because in the village pretty much sold out for them.
Very close.
Oh. I'll be on standby though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think they start coming in the 11th.
So, Tim needs to be made aware that he might have to pull some evening shifts too. For that, if we haven't been able to get something more accomplished.
I'm gonna make a few phone calls too, and see if I can find some operators that, are we able to contract operators now or no?
Well, we can still
I
do
think,
that.
I think if it's a short-term solution, I think we have to be ready to do that. You know, we've got some money on the, I don't know where we're at on the financial update as far as the water fund. We're
We
about
have,
30 grand or
we
something.
have almost 30,000 in there.
It's a minimum of 6 months. You have to go to school, and then you have to train on the job for 6 months, and then you have to pass. They give the test 4 times a year, and then you have to go pass the test. Or you can go ahead and take the test before you get your 6 months of training in and be in a transfer. And then, once you get the 6 months in, somebody, or whoever supervising you will sign off on it, and you can get a certification. It's not.
Yeah, so it's not like you can just put
I can't
somebody
just
in.
pull somebody off the street and come to work down there. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
time-consuming process. 6 months is the minimum on the training that you have to have in the plan. No, after 6 months, you can have your license. And then you have to wait, if you can get your test, and they do them in February, May, August, and November, I think. But you have to be able, they don't do schools, you just have to catch a school, there's not a school ever. There's 2 for sure twice a year, and there's other companies that put the schools on, but it's not something that happens every week. All right, I think that's everything, and then I have this too, if Jason had asked for this a while back. This is like the savings that we would, this was from June 22 to June 23, because the invoice itself gave me, but it's the savings. And if we were just to drop our losses by 50%, we would save, a year, nearly $8,000 on chemicals and nearly a little over $3,500 on just lab supplies. And we would save, 1,932 man hours a year. And that averages out to 37 hours a week that you would be saving. So that would, yeah. I did that at 50%, 25%, and 10%.
And that's just that if we reduce it 50% of what,
I mean,
Yes. and
a rough spitball calculation is you could lose an operator potentially. I mean, 2,000 hours, times $20 an hour, and that's,
Well, full-time equivalent's 2,080.
yeah.
And then right
If you
here,
were to look at it
right,
like that,
the actual that we were using, in that time period was 74.3 hours a week. And if we got our water, our unaccounted for water to a normal range, which would be 5 to 15%, that plant could run 26 hours a week. So instead of the 74, what we were running, it's more than that now, but that was the invoices, the year that I had the invoices for.
right,
That's our wish
by the
list.
time you throw in payroll tax and benefits, your $50,000 savings just on labor.
And another 10 or 12 for supplies and chemicals, so that's
that's a
significant.
huge saving there.
You
You
Gary.
got a
do.
$220,000 budget and you're
I mean, if
65.
we were just to say right now, if we were just to save 100,000 gallons a day, we would still be, producing more than what we would need. But I mean, that's a pretty significant savings.
It's roughly a 30%
And
reduction.
even at, if we were just to knock it down 25%, we would save, we would drop some, but we would save, 19 hours a week in just labor.
Yep.
So, do you want this or no? See, there's the 50% savings, 25%.
Crazy.
That's what we are.
Thanks, Gary. We'll certainly keep you in the loop on,
And Thomas, if you want to call that on the computer down there, if you need a copy.
I can scan it to them.
So- Okay, now let's go talk some more water.
Yeah.
And, one more question. Dennis mentioned that they were gonna wait until Lodge Monday before they installed everything instead of this Thursday, is that correct?
Yes.
So do you know anything more about that? Because I feel, or Thomas, do you know exactly, does anybody know exactly, are we cutting out the whole village when we cut that tank?
Yes.
All night
That will cut, when you valve off the village tank, the whole village will be out of
I thought
water.
we were just valving off the lodge.
I don't think you can just valve off the lodge. I don't think there's a valve.
The last thing I heard is that they were valving off the
I'll
village
get
tank.
Nicole over tomorrow and then we can be part of the conversation.
Okay.
And I'll be here tomorrow in the morning so if you want to,
Well, if he wasn't to be here, I would definitely get up with you.
we can make a schedule, because we definitely need to have that village tank, if we are, whatever we're valving off, we need to have that village tank full, because we'll have to bleed hydrants to get all the air out of the lines and stuff, or we've had trouble with that. If we don't get that air out of the lines, then,
I'll have Nicole over and we can also do
Okay.
and I'll make a schedule where we're, the time that tank will be full before we cut it off.
Well, I don't think you're gonna cut it off until after the restaurant closes,
it. Yeah,
so
it
it'll
would
be
be like
like,
8:30.
Monday,
yeah.
No,
next
Monday,
Monday.
it's not tomorrow.
Monday.
Not a problem.
So everything should be full, pretty much, I mean,
on the normal schedule.
yeah.
Because, yeah, if we shut the whole village off, then we're gonna have to start opening stuff up really slow and have our lines full of water from the village tank before we turn out our lines and have a,
Yeah, I think we would just turn it back on and let it gravity feed for a bit, and then start.
and then open some hydrants up and we can turn that pump back on so we can get some, help push some of the air out of it.
And that'll be Tuesday, which will be, it'll be right there.
Oh, at Tuesday, I think it's April 16th, they were coming to do our load test on, the generators. And they would like the portable generator, down at the wastewater plant or the water plant, where they can do the service on it while they are doing load tests on the generators at each plant.
Just send me an email or a text and let me know what day and we'll have Jeff make sure it's up.
Okay. So, and I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Appreciate it.
Get that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
Are we getting an award from Nicole on that,
The AWAP award.
yeah,
It's usually in the fall of the year when they hand those out. They usually do a press release.
yeah, I just wanna make sure we get a picture of it.
Oh yeah, it's a nice plaque.
Yeah.
I'll call Nicole and ask her when they.
Okay,
I think they like to hand deliver them, so it's kind of spread out.
yeah,
But they may just mail them this year since the actual office is kind of short-handed right now.
right, okay.
So, okay, but I'll find out.
All right, thank you, dear.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. Moving to, I guess,
Finances.
financials.
So, in our general fund, we have 121,920.85. And our utility fund, we have 29,452.64. So that's a total of 151,373.49, but it does not include a $8,500 check that we received today from the resort. Thank you, Jason.
Okay.
That is much appreciated.
Good deal. So, yeah, and of that general fund, I think we're, right around 25 or just below on Powellville?
It's almost, it's 30,000, yeah. Right out 30,000.
All right, any questions about the financials there from anybody?
I will try at our next meeting to have a budget to actual for everybody to look at.
Yeah, see how we're doing.
Yeah.
As we go online, start to, we can see the end, and then we're gonna have to start thinking budgeting for the following
Yeah,
year.
yeah, we're gonna have to start working on that.
All right, the garbage update there, I think Zell's been getting some numbers.
Yeah, so this is the cheapest option that I've found. And it's still not cheap, but it's a trash be gone, which comes out to Bill's Gap on Mondays. And so if they pick up our 3 dumpsters that we got, it's $200 a month for each one of those. And then if we use their dumpsters and get 5 new ones, it's $220. So we're only paying $20 more for their dumpsters, which means if something like, I know the one down at the marina is starting to rust out down there. If that was to happen with those, they'd replace it, so we wouldn't have to purchase anymore. So it breaks down though, if we do 5 new dumpsters and our 3 existing ones, it breaks down to $1,700 a month, which is $20,400 for the year. And if they have to come out for an extra trip, it's $85 per container. Like if during 4th of July,
Right.
and we have everything full and we can't get through the next Monday, and they come out and we say dump 2 of these, and it would be $170. You know? And they would bill us on a monthly.
How many times a year do you foresee that happening?
That what?
How many times a year do you foresee that extra trip maybe?
An extra trip, we got Wookies, all of the, Mini Coopers, there's, anytime the village is sold out, we're gonna run that risk.
Heavy season,
Because the one behind the grill will no longer be, with the grill going, they're gonna be filling it up with garbage from there, so it can't just all be garbage from the truck, It's gonna have
So they would
to.
handle doing the grill and the bistro?
Yeah, they would do all of it, yeah, and at the marina, they would.
Right
pick up-
now, the grill and the bistro is being picked up twice a week.
Yeah, and that is through Graham County, right? Which you're paying $75 each time.
So can we not use both?
Do what now?
he's
Can we not
saying,
just let Graham County continue to do food and beverage operation?
Well, we could, but it's cheaper if we go through them.
I know, but they're having to pick up twice a week now, and we're in our off season.
Right. Well, but that's because of builders and stuff, right? And all the trash they're producing.
Not at the bistro, not at, probably, I don't know that you can go to just once a week with those 2 locations.
I don't know either. But we could though, put another garbage can or a dumpster down there, maybe.
I think if you even do that, I don't think 2's enough for Wildwood.
You know what I'm saying?
Not the volume you're gonna do.
And that brings me to the next question. Where are we gonna put them if we go this route?
I think the best thing for us to do is to form a team and from the resort and from the town and try to plan to sit down sometime in the next 2 weeks and come up with a game plan.
Well, I will just mention that I called several different places, and most of them was far and above what these guys were. And the reason that they're giving us a better deal is because they come to Deals Gap, and so they're coming
I
out.
completely understand,
Yeah.
and we always want to be focused on saving money anywhere we can. I just don't know the food and beverage operation can only do it once a week.
Right.
There's no way.
Well, like I said, any extra trip that we need to have anything done, it would be
So
an
we
additional
can't-
85.
We can't parlay and have two. And let Graham County still continue to do what they're doing for us.
Well, yeah, certainly we can do that. We don't even have the three existing dumpsters, we don't even have to have them do it all if you want to get.
No. I think it's something we have to look at, but I don't think that we can disrupt the food and beverage operation saying, we're only gonna pick up once a week. There's no way, once the grill opens.
Yeah.
It might even be a 3-day-a-week pickup. It might be more.
Certainly, garbage is expensive. No matter how you look at it, it's expensive. And I don't know. I do know though that they were not pushy. I don't want to say that, but they were just like, "Can you get back to us as soon as you can?" So that we, because they want to get that nailed down, and they're ordering some new dumpsters. They got to order some new dumpsters.
I would tell you, I think we should try to peak Thursday or Friday, because next week, with us making this push for Easter and trying to open and everything else, you're gonna have a lot of moving parts.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna need some dumpsters. So then the question comes back to where we're gonna place them all at and how we're gonna, now the good thing is, when I talked with the county, we do not have to have them with the fence. And another good thing about these too, they are the 8 yards front load with lids, and they're lockable. So,
You tell me that.
but lockable to keep people from just coming anywhere and putting. Like Jason said, if people are gonna determine, they're probably just gonna sit in front. But if we don't have them in some isolated space, it'd be harder for that to happen.
Do we know what size we've got already? Like the ones at the marina, do we know what size those are?
They're the 8 yards.
Those are 8s as well?
The regular dumpsters that you see at the dumpster site are the 8. The real tall ones
Yeah.
are the bigger ones. That's bigger than 8, but the regular size, yeah. Are
So the ones that are about as tall as a
Mhm.
person are the 8s?
Yeah.
Could you put them down by the old admin building? Cause then you can at least get cameras and stuff on there and stuff to stop people from driving.
Right, yeah, I mean, that would be fine if, where, the recyclable trailer up in that area there, is that what you're talking
Maybe
about?
more tucked back behind it, so it's not in public view.
But is that gonna cause an issue with people that are gonna be living there in their vehicles and stuff? Aren't they gonna wanna park around in the back there if they're
I
in the?
really think the best thing to do is to get a group of us, sit down and just hammer it out. I can sit here and tell you, we're gonna go here with it, we're gonna go there with it, but I think it'd be better if we have a group that really, we try to get a plan. I mean, down there, it kinda can be an eyesore too. I mean, everybody drives in on 28.
Yeah.
And whether you wanna see that, I get what you're saying about tucking it back, but I think we really have a group, and we hash out the ideas. I think we can come up with good ones.
And I'm assuming that probably Robin is gonna want some input in this too.
I'm sure.
So we will, I guess just, let us know who you
Let
want.
me check his schedule Friday, and then I don't know what everyone else has going on, but maybe we could try to schedule something, but I know he's gonna be around Friday.
I've got to leave, I've got an appointment at 1 o'clock, so if we can, and we have another
And
one.
we got the meeting in the morning with Dave.
Yeah, with David, so.
But we could- yeah. We can be flexible.
Yeah, just whatever, just let us know.
Alrighty. Any questions about garbage from anyone? Garbage. Alright, so next point of discussion is sort of reformulating our ATC, our trail committee that we have with the AT. We had it essentially leading up to COVID. We had something in place. COVID kind of killed a lot of plans, and it's really the whole idea of an AT trail town from the ATC side of things has sort of stagnated from what I understand in talking with people. They haven't really moved forward like they, had originally planned before COVID. I think there's just been a variety of things. And basically, you get knocked back and now you're trying to maybe assess. So as far as us is concerned, we wanted to just talk about, who we wanted to have on the committee. It's typically, from my understanding, gonna just deal with a variety of different hiker-related issues within the town and with the resort. So I don't think it really directly ties in with, say, trail repair like you might think from what I have read. I think Ox and the different, there's what, one or two different clubs, I think, are here doing work
Yeah, because,
occasionally.
well, from the Smokies up, so one club, and then from CBD back, it's a different club.
But Ox's has permits on both, correct?
Yeah, he used to hit down here when I was part of it, he's in charge of the Smokies, but obviously,
So Ox was on the previous committee. We obviously want to continue, I think, having him on there. My thought when we were talking about reformulating this, it used to be headed by Ann, Schwaz's. I think it makes good sense given Schwaz, experience, exposure, and his relationship with hikers. I was thinking about, getting him to head up the committee and kind of chair that committee if everybody thinks it seems logical, it seems kind of like a no-brainer.
It'd be
That
great.
makes sense, and can people that aren't on the council, people like Krista, that are now deeply involved in RAC, be part of it too?
Chris is definitely one that we wanna put on there, yeah.
person for the
Yeah.
convention, just like he said, for representing us to
I
Fontana.
would picture,
5 to 7.
We're finally on a trajectory,
Yeah.
I think, reestablish ourselves as the trail town.
yeah, the hikers look happy. And they're all over the place today, but another person.
Believe it, and I'm like, yes, no, like, experience coming, like, we're working on getting all the media, the YouTube, it's just too late to hear it, all the publications, so we're now things very fast, so
We got time. Next year is gonna be big. But another person you could think about would be Sarah Spiro, Brandon's fiance. She would be really good. I think
Oh, Sarah?
We need more people, yeah, because she's already doing a lot of guided hike stuff. and all those.
Yeah, before we had, we did also have somebody say from the room side of things. We had, Donna was on it before. So it's essentially just keeping things informed about, hiker aspect related to, say, rooms. Hiker aspect, just the various aspects.
shuttles and all kinds of stuff,
We could even
schedules.
potentially look at trying to have somebody from the retail side be involved because, the supply side is a very critical aspect to being a good trail town, I believe.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And the amount of hiker food that we went and purchased and done is blows my mind. I was a little bit shocked that we would have that kind of purchasing going on at the general store, but it's went well.
So, Brooke, I mean, I ran shuttle the other day, and it's been a while since I did it, but I was just, a lot of times we sort of speculate what impact hikers have monetarily on the resort, and I didn't know if we were coding, say, rooms, if there's like a specific, I know there's a hiker rate, right?
Yeah, I
So
know.
we can back into that. We
Yeah.
haven't done it yet just because we're 20 days into the month, but weekly we send out a report. Arlene from the pit stop sends out a report on what our retail sales are for each day of the week. She actually puts what the weather is those days because we're trying to see when it rains, are we seeing as much traffic as on days
Sure.
where it doesn't. And I think she can back out and simulate what it is that we're looking at from the hiker food.
I didn't know
We can
if it was
definitely
worth
know that.
tagging, say, even like a transaction toast, if you could say, this is a hiker, you know, and then you can kind of database it.
You can't do that, and it's gonna slow down your checkout time. What you can do is we can see comparatively the lift hour by hour from weeks prior and weeks after, year to year. We can look backward after we get through this year and have the conclusive data. We can look at things categorically. We can look at hiker food and see what it's doing. We can,
I just figured it was an opportunity.
Comparison.
It was an opportunity to estimate that impact maybe a little more accurately than we have had that data in the past. It's a little gray.
Here's how you could do it, and you could do it if you had a discount code for hikers stuff, for the hikers, like a small discount code, and then you know every time that gets used that you're doing,
There you go.
you're doing that.
5%.
5% off.
Yeah, we'd have to figure, there's a few different ways you can do it, and over time, we'll have access to increasingly actionable data. It's just gonna take more and more time to get your systems and the technology and all this stuff involved.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. Now that we've got Toast and we've got this POS that has some capability, you know, how do we utilize it to give us the most accurate data we can get?
I think we're able to look at that, and I think we can put a dollar to what it is. We definitely have it.
And it matters at times.
It's, yeah, it matters, but I know we can do it with saying to us, because we have, the rate they have in there is a hiker rate.
Right. That should be pretty easy, yeah.
And one other thing though, being a Appalachian Trail town, the designation that we received, we are supposed to do something for hikers in some way or capacity that feeds back to the trail. Whether it's like doing like Hiker Haze when we tried to start that and then COVID hit. Or if it's doing trail work on the Appalachian Trail, which we could coordinate through Ox. There's various things, and I'll make sure that I have his phone number and stuff, so I'll get in touch with him and we'll tie
Civics
it up
is
with
coming
him.
next week too, and they're here to work on the trails.
Yeah.
Schwan Rob's already worked on them some, and Krista, so.
Yeah, and we've used like the fall and the spring hike week, you know, but then they're like, well, it's supposed to be on that for the Appalachian Trail, but you know, they haven't really pushed anything on this.
Yeah, if we do like nightly fire pits, I have the inflatable screen for movies, I've got karaoke machines.
Yeah,
You know,
we can
get
do it,
creative
yeah.
with the programming.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of public amenities too, that we can just.
Experience that. You're stripped down to the basic of things when you're out there, so you're so appreciative of a heated bathroom. I've seen hikers crashing in the bathroom, it's 14 degrees out and the wind's blowing right there. They're so appreciative just to have that little thing.
Yeah, just have a little bit of heat, yeah. Short.
Running water.
Yeah.
Yes, that too.
Have you had any like headway as far as the QuickBooks thing? Because if we can get back into QuickBooks, I can pull all your data from how much groceries was sold for like the past 5 years versus what we've sold this year, so we can then see.
No, I haven't. I haven't looked at that yet. We can do it later. Just a little bit of stuff going on right
No,
now.
I know, I
Yeah.
didn't know if we heard anything back from them or not.
So as far as a formal sort of restructuring of the ATC committee, do we want to kind of informally say we're looking at Schwa heading that up? I can work with him. I mean, we're thinking Krista, we're possibly thinking Sarah Spiro if she's interested, Donna from Rooms. We can kind of approach these folks, make sure everybody's good.
Huh?
We call him Ox. His name is Franklin LaFawn.
That's his trail name,
That's
right?
his real name, and his trail name is Ox.
He's talking 5 to 7 people, and we can look at, there's some other towns that have, their AT Trail Committee has a directive. We can certainly look at that and maybe emulate that, you know, take what we want from that.
Last year was spur of the moment, trying to represent the town and really gather information on what we could try to maybe just witness and see at trail days last year. we're knowing before that happens now, I would love for us to contact, because I think there's one council person who heads up that festival for them there.
Yeah.
So in what capacity, what do they do, who is that person?
When is Trail Days?
Third week of May.
So if we can, you know,
Trail Days happens way after all the hikers are through here.
Right.
We still have a lot of weekend people, we have people coming up just to hike the Smokies. Like, as far as I understand, we're gonna be building like a backcountry, outdoor, we're gonna start to facilitate a lot of.
Well, and if that grant, if we get that grant, that could help with this as well, because that was considerable amount of money. We could, that would be, I think that would be right up that alley as far as
Right, I have that in the calendar for that kickoff call. And my notes, that
Yeah, is it? Yeah, I think you said it's gonna be done, but you could.
right, it's Tuesday, March 26th, 11 a.m. It's a direct overlap with a fiber visit. So,
I think I
Krista's
think.
gonna attend.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah.
the fiber visit?
No, there's a kickoff call for the
This grant
grant
that I-
process, like an educational webinar kind of thing about the application.
So Schwa and I will work during this interim leading up to the next meeting. We'll approach the folks that we're thinking, and
And I'll get a hold of Alex.
we can kind of formally declare that committee in the next
And I'm
meeting.
sure we could get him to come over too, so, you
If
know.
we need him to, I mean, you know, Schwa's got a good working relationship with them.
Well, do you have his contact info? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, then I'll just let you
call
do
them,
it.
text them,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll, you know, the nice thing is, you know, Rec's gonna have a lot of activities, related to that, so there's a lot of overlap, and I think it should work good with you and Krista on board. So, anyway, we'll work on formulating some of those directives and, approaching the people, so on and so forth.
If Donna is not interested in being a part of that committee, we might consider Danielle. She really good with stuff.
Just
For sure, but then
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll think of some people.
Yeah, we'll kind of spitball it. I mean, we could have as many as 7 people, I believe. I think we can kind of formulate the makeup, you know, your thinking was, can we find 7 people that is what we
Yeah.
want?
Another person that you might want to think about that's just good for practical reasons, if this new committee does need to produce lots of documents and organizational stuff, would be Amanda.
I don't think it'll be much. It's essentially just a committee, like a subcommittee of the town. So it's not, I don't think there's a lot of that. I think primarily we're interacting with the ATC. Primarily, I'd like to
There
start.
is a lot of old archival stuff, like, the second through hiker, Gene Espy to ever come through, wrote a letter and it's got like correspondence from Fontana. So through hikers have always been a tradition here, and to try to like, I mean, like, remember the pictures at Stokoe Gap, like, we need to be taken from wherever those perspective was, where it was just gravel that went through. Like, we need to be taking time lapse or whatever we can do to like, have that, for example, like the old black and white picture versus where's that perspective, take those pictures, like, to make that, like, so I see where she can very much say that, like,
Well, we're potentially, you know, I think she could be a person, you know, we're gonna have I guess a loss here very, you know, later on in the meetings that maybe, I don't wanna overwhelm Amanda, so, I'm wary of saying, hey, can you do this, hey, can you do this, hey, can you do this? So, so anyway, we'll work through that and we'll have something, you know, we'll work towards something at the next meeting. Sounds great. Formally declaring that.
remind me of parliamentary procedure.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the committees, it's not such a big deal, but we'll, you know, taking notes and developing some
The
minutes.
ribs,
I'm already an unspoken representative, kind of.
fried raised tomatoes, chopped eggs, we have
My
vegetable
purpose in
cheese
being
for
on
lenses.
council was to represent hikers.
You guys know what, we're gonna just do appetizers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
They got the deep fried,
Somebody from Rooms and
probably,
potentially somebody.
and, rump soup will be,
Again, I think we're gonna have
crab
to
cakes and
maybe chat about that, and kind of develop a list of possibilities and then start to whittle it down.
Are you guys done? Can I leave the door open? No.
Like if you were through like what would you see? So pretty much the video starts and you're coming off onto 20 across, moving around, see the options, like to get a visual of what they're about to.
So they know what to expect.
Right, and they have no clue, like there's no reception right there, for example. Like the sign says a lot, but sometimes it's overwhelming. The far out app says go left, so I've seen some people stick on their phones and do this and ignore the right signs.
And those are things we can potentially remedy. We can try to see if we can get some Wi-Fi there at the marina bathroom up top. You know, we used to actually have a DSL line there. There was a phone line.
It's the fiber stuff that's our hold up to that.
Once we get the fiber,
Rob, it's not just.
Yeah, once you get the fiber, we can
change.
we can
To
cover it.
explain to folks about it's not just connected to the Wi-Fi, you have to Wi-Fi everyone and I have to walk them through the house and use Wi-Fi on phones for communicating. Yeah, so it's not just having a Wi-Fi signal if we're going to do that, we have to have like step-by-step instruction.
I mean, there are some people.
But we can totally do that. There's way more.
Yeah,
There's a lot of.
You go with a QR
to
code.
address as well.
yeah, for the sake of time, we probably get into these details
Yeah.
later, but there's a lot of stuff we can do. Long term, when the fiber, when we get the fiber, everything's there, we can start putting LTE boxes for cellular signal in place of BT.
And
that would be
To me, that's
crucial. We cannot do it until.
Right.
And that's the point of having an AT-specific committee that we can look at the needs of hikers and we can try to advocate and, assist
Meet
as much
those
as we
needs.
can. That's the entire point of that committee.
There's a lot of retail clothing on it.
Yeah, we should get into it later. These
Yeah.
are all very good ideas.
Yeah,
I
just
like how
as you
inspiring
have
guys
them,
are.
jot them down and we'll get into the weeds, more so when we get into the committee meeting and whatnot.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. So the mowing of the overlooks, I guess.
So we don't, the resort does not have like the grounds to do anymore, right? I mean, like what is his name?
The Waldrop,
We have our own,
We do.
Yeah.
we have our own that works in-house.
But it's just, is it just like one person then?
No.
No, it's gonna be.
Why? The reason I'm asking is because we had, back a long time ago, we had some people that we paid to mow those overlooks. And then when Chris came on board, he just, they left. And then Dennis, we hired him to do the overlooks, to keep them
The
mowed.
3 overlooks on 28
You know which one
coming
we're
into the
talking about, that
village
just cleaned out
from the
for us.
east.
Yeah, we
Oh,
have
I know what you're
to-
talking about, the gravel ones where we have our signage outside, where the signage is outside.
No, it's the 3 overlooks like it.
They're paved
Those are
overlooks.
forest
One's above Cable Cove,
There are,
one's between
Hazel
Cable
Creek.
They're
Cove.
not. Wait, how are
well,
they?
they're,
Well, they're not really ours, but it overlooks the lake. And it's, the Forest Service has cleared all of those out at my request. And so they, for people stop there. There's a lot of people that stop there and get pictures with cars and this and that. And it just is,
The
there isn't
TVA
really anything else out through here but
The
Fontana. So it
TVA has
represents,
taken it upon themselves in the past 10 years or so to try and clear those. And it's been kind of a hodgepodge of different solutions depending on what was going on.
Yeah.
The question is, do we think we want to try to make that part of our in-house crew's responsibility, or do we want to fund that, by having Dennis go out bi-weekly to mow them?
We missed this discussion since it's gonna impact his staff. What
So-
they're asking,
yeah.
you can just tell.
So the overlooks coming in from the east, those 3 paved
the
overlooks
28,
on
the
28,
the ones that overlook the lake.
we've maintained them, the Tourism and Development Authority has for the last, I don't know, almost 10 years. Because they're a big part, I guess, people coming in, people pull off, they stop. We didn't want to have it be, we tried to do signage, we had some vandalism and some theft, so we tried to go away from it. We tried to have signs that had like the lake and where you are and give some facts about the resort, but it didn't seem to, people would come along and either vandalize them or steal. So
And then when Chris came in, they just took it over.
We're going away from the contract mowing that we had last year. We're understanding that. So the question was, in the past, when we hadn't had some involvement with the contractor, we had contracted with Dennis to go out bi-monthly, so twice a month, and do them. We were, typically it was like, I think 150.
Yeah, for all three. It was $50 a spot.
Yeah.
So it was 150 for all three of them.
And then, so you're looking at 300 a month is what we were paying him, and it's really for like 5 months or thereabout, you know, the mowing season. So, do we want to do that from the TDA side with Dennis, or do you guys want to kind of do it in-house? Do we want to have that discussion more so in the TDA next meeting?
Our next meeting will be needing to, it'll be needing to be mowed.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's real simple, we can make the decision pretty quick, I just wanna better understand and go see the 3 areas. Cause I don't know how big they
Yeah,
are.
maybe pull in there the next time and, you know, check them. There's the one right above the Marina Basin
Yep.
there in the harbor.
Yep.
And they just cleared that out, the Forest Service did last fall.
No, it wasn't last fall, it wasn't all that long ago.
They were doing the rest of the 74,
Yeah, and
right?
I've been on Heath pretty hard to get him to come and clean them out because they've grown up significantly and people use those spots. They park their car and you get the lake in the background and,
I mean, I don't drive up and down the mountain per se as much as most. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm staying on property right now, but I can tell you every time I go up and down, there's at least one person pulled off at one of those 3
Yes.
spots.
Yeah, it's
Every
good
time I
that
come
you guys
through
have
there.
signs there, because we could really promote the whole
Yep.
town.
That was the
and
point.
Village right there.
Is to try to, you know, with one of them, you
look, but
know,
they got stolen.
yeah, the one above the
Yeah.
marina, we were kind of pushing, we were promoting.
It didn't even last a day.
Well, then what you do is you brand the sign, and if if we got one clever that they keep taking home, you know, you put a big logo on there, just keep replacing it.
Well, and you also have to get you have to work with the Forest Service to make sure they approve of them too.
Yeah, there was a
That
sign
was
with
another issue that we
size.
have.
Who's that, Heath?
Yeah, Heath would be the person that probably would work with that, yeah.
So we'll
Do
put
you
that.
have a relationship with him, so? Ask him what it would take and what we would do, we would like to do.
Well, I'd like to keep them clean, you know, because there is a lot of use of it through the season there, and,
We don't wanna be an
and
embarrassment.
Dennis he has his own lawnmower and his own weed eater. He did a fine job keeping them up, because gas, everything is more expensive now. We were figuring it would, instead of 150, it'd be 200 if you get all 3 again. Or we could just do, I suggested just doing 2 for 150, that way you get 75 each. But all 3 of them
No,
point to Fontana.
all 3, so $50 a pop, or maybe more like.
So can we just ride over there and look at them? 'Cause I've not looked closely enough at them to be able to know what kind of work we're doing.
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
We'll
Just,
put it on the.
We're gonna have a
put it on
crew
the
of 6
Friday.
and a supervisor, so
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I think.
well, you know, because there's no cell service or nothing, the sign the one that we envisioned making anyway, not only showed where you were at on the map on the lake, but also like how many miles it is to the village, how many miles it is to Knoxville, you know, things of that nature that kind of give,
why don't you
people
reach
get
out-
lost coming out
Why don't you
here.
reach out to Heath and see what we can do?
Okay,
Because I think Thomas and I are spending already. There's so many people that come, and they get up here and they still don't realize Montana Village is here.
Yeah.
We wanna take advantage of anything we can, and you're right, people do get lost.
Yeah, coming in from the east, we were taking it as an opportunity to introduce them, you know, to the area and specifically to the village.
Yeah.
You know, and we could think about possibly doing the same thing back to the west, although there's not the same sort of, you've got that one boat put in right there. I don't know if
Yeah.
we could potentially put something.
But you know what, my son, every time he's here, he goes and fishes, and I've just met probably, I don't know, 15 people. Since I've been here down there, they don't even put Fontana's here.
I know. People from Cherokee have come out here, like when crab legs and stuff, and it's like, wow, we just didn't even know this place was here. And it's like, how can you live that close and not know this place is here?
So we'll put it on the agenda for the next TDA meeting.
Well, and
But I'll have
we
you
might,
And we'll have
answer
some
before
conversation,
then.
yeah.
I'll try to go out and make sure I stop and look at them and just better understand what it's gonna take.
yeah, okay.
Right.
You know that people stop and they use the restroom there behind the bushes, they leave the TV there, I mean, it's messy. They'll start getting into it, once you get into it, just on the grass, don't do that.
It's.
Well, when
like
you have,
said,
but you have
here's
somebody
the car.
caring for it, they can
Here's-
call it up. Dennis does, he had them kept them clean.
He said there's a car there every time he's right, I see it, and it's not just a car, it's usually an out-of-state car.
Yep.
And motorcycles.
Motorcycles, yeah.
And sometimes people are nice enough when they're going 20 miles an hour to pull off and let you.
And I think one of the issues with signage, I think, was because
Every now and
it is a, it has what is the beautiful byway?
Yeah,
right? It's a
yeah.
Scenic byway.
Scenic byway,
Yeah.
so there's some additional restrictions on signage, and I think that played
We
into
wanna
it.
do everything by the book
Absolutely.
and do it right, but we'd love to be able to tell everybody that the town here, the village is here. We've got a great place for you to come stay, a great place for you to come eat, awesome activities for you to come participate in.
Yeah, and there's so much stuff that's public too, that they might want to go, well, I'll just stop by and see this
Yeah.
golf course, and, you know,
Yeah,
it's all kinds of customers that
absolutely.
keep this operation going.
All right, so we'll keep moving on that. Moving to the last discussion item that we have on the agenda. We've got a board member resigning, and we wanted to talk about some.
Well, and I just said, she sent me this text, and she said, "My fellow council members, it saddens me to inform you that I will be resigning due to unforeseen circumstances. I truly wish you all the very best, as well as the town of Fontana. Sincerely, Rachel Wachacha." So, that is effective as of today. So we had talked a little bit about Amanda, but we have another opportunity too, in a former council member that worked for the village, and she's so together, I wish I could be that together as her. Sarah Locke is moving back on Memorial Day, back into her house in the Heights. So, you know, she is willing to go back on the board. She has all kinds of experience. She's actually the one that got us the Appalachian Trail designation, so she did that all on her own, remember? And she also, there was like, wasn't she also instrumental in getting that CPO group that came here that
She
time?
worked with them, you know, she was marketing for a while. She wore a lot of different hats when she was here. She was on.
Very organized.
tourism.
You
So
know,
she's
so
an
we-
experienced person that I think could squeeze in. So I guess the question, you know, we can certainly, between now and next meeting, we can talk about, you know, who we would like to, you know, the potential candidates, and we can kind of maybe talk
Well,
amongst
Amanda is
ourselves.
perfectly capable, and I love her to death. But it's kind of like you and Tiffany. When one's out, you've got two out. You know, there's that aspect of it too. Like, you know, you guys both are gone at the same time, for the most part. And so sometimes that, if you have somebody else then that's out too, being sick or anything, then you're in a bind. You know, so.
Let's all think and talk about
Yeah.
it, you know, I mean, as you guys know, we're both willing to do whatever it takes to keep this place,
Right.
keep it better and improving and going, so whatever we need to do.
We can kind of talk informally, we can have discussions, say, two of us, about the issue. We just don't want to violate any open meeting laws and basically be having three of us talk about it, not in a meeting. So we can certainly chit chat amongst ourselves, one-on-one, and we can try to work towards, you know, who would be interested, maybe try to figure out who is interested back, reciprocating that. And we can kind of maybe see if we can take some action at the next meeting. That sound like a plan?
That's something.
So as far as action items go, we would need a
I
motion.
tabled for the garbage contract, I just tabled it because, but, so really just Rachel's resignation.
Yeah, take a motion to accept Rachel's resignation.
I propose a motion to accept Rachel's resignation as of today, March 20th, 2024.
Thank you, Lacey. All in favor?
Aye.
After that. Anything else we want to discuss as a council? Anything
I've got a couple of things that was brought up. The breezy mural on the tank, is that dead?
The what?
The mural that we were gonna do on the tank. I think it'd be really awesome because it's just a blank slate as you come up. We had a breezy logo right there on the side of that.
I'm still all for that. It's just that I never got really. I know that somebody did talk to Maya about it, and she said she wasn't interested. But you know, I don't. The thing of it is that you know, it would have to be somebody that really put what we wanted up there, and not some abstract something that we didn't, you know, really like.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't know who that person is.
Well, I was just thinking the whole logo of the fishing pole, the fish and
And hey, there's another one too, Sapphire. So yeah, all he carries with him is his fork and knife, though. He don't carry no fish. He's just there to eat.
So maybe we can have Jason sort of run that general concept up the flagpole a little bit and see if there's any, I mean, I know it's not a pressing issue and that might be the biggest thing. It's not a priority, but down the line
We're talking about the intermediate tank.
in the curves. We're talking about basically beautifying that a little bit, having it be, look a little bit less industrial, I suppose.
You've also got Amanda, who's quite an artist. I don't know her interest level. Then you also have Hunter Turner, who's supposedly really artist as well.
He draws.
Very talented. So he's coming up. I mean, he does a lot of digital things, but I think he's really good with just real paint too. So I think we've got some options. It's just
I think it would look nice.
A general improvement and beautification of that area with the little landscaping, a little paint, maybe a fence. I don't know. It's just, you know, spitballing.
Yeah, a little bit of, yeah, because you could just do a little bit of Home Depot grade, you know, bring in some shrubs and stuff.
Right.
Keep it looking nice. It's good. I mean, it really is right in your face when you're coming around the corner.
And I still eventually would love to do a trout stream around the bottom of the water plant, you know?
Yeah, that was
All the
another
native trout,
idea.
yeah.
That was
I think
another
that would be
idea
awesome.
that we had on the concrete on the bottom of the water plant back.
With all the
We
native
had
trout
kind
and stuff.
of it almost like an underwater scene with all the native fish. Would be pretty cool, since that's a highly visible thing when you're going out to the campground.
These are good ideas. You know, any large scale creative endeavor is going to take us a little more
I don't bring it up if we're
to
at
figure it out.
discuss it really quickly, not really want to get into it, just want to throw it out there and keep it alive maybe.
Sure.
But I think it's a good opportunity as an artist, I see that as myself, something needs to be there, but
Yeah.
not me, but somebody needs to do something.
I see it as a blank canvas, and especially because it's like primer, the white building next to it's primered up.
And another thing that affects the town a little bit with, I really want to bring up this at the start, is a lot of times when I'm going around, there's not enough bathrooms along there, but can it be a requirement for any large groups to have to hire their own porta johns or something like that? They're not that expensive. We're getting overloaded with their stuff, so I'm thinking that is a really great thing.
We do require some of the largest groups to have a porta john. I mentioned this many times, and it probably should.
There's like 200-300 people doing it all at once.
Where are you talking about it? Yeah. Yeah. It is just now with the volume of traffic we have and the volume of traffic increase we're gonna see down there, we probably are quite near capacity there. It's something we can look at. It's probably not something we can solve this week.
Yeah, I'd probably be, we have talked about the restrooms down there before, because of, well, there's just, you either have to walk up to the grill, and, you know, or the bathrooms I know down at the general store are gonna get really hammered, you know, with
Yeah.
everybody down there. And it's one room, you know, or two rooms, men and women.
Long term, we kicked around an idea of a pavilion, you know, with some bathroom facilities. I think the problem was, how was that space gonna be developed, utilized? We didn't wanna build something and then have to remove it. So that's why we kind of waited. It's a part of a capital discussion, I suppose, at some point.
And wait, you know, there's already water lines down there where the old cafeteria was at, so, you know, it would be an ideal place. But that's also kind of an ideal place, you know, so you may
Yeah.
have something else in mind there. But a pavilion, which could be rented for parties or, you know, it'd be a way maybe to,
Something
All good
that
ideas.
that was also looking at, y'all know, something used to be there, someone's been here way longer than I am, maybe you could point it out, but you know, the creek where the bridge goes over, where everybody moves out with the laundry.
I know what you're talking about, where it's got the,
Right on the corner.
Mantle Forest.
And so we just brought that to her attention, we're gonna find out if that's, is that, I think it's our sign. And I think it was just down here in front river that's over there, but I would think that they would have a kiosk on their property, right?
Manhill
yeah,
Forest.
yeah, there is a kiosk over
It
there,
says
yeah.
Manhill National Forest.
We can look into
And
it.
there's.
It's unlikely it's theirs.
That's what I
It's
was
been
saying.
there, I know it was there when I worked here in 1979, so,
That needs to be.
I don't say, yeah, it was there then.
It's in history.
Because that was a hangout
They'll probably
spot.
put it in right when they built this, maybe.
Yeah, well,
That whole area that we're gonna.
See, I will take your word for that, I was lying.
Going through with like metal detectors.
thank you.
We're gonna make it like as clean as possible, remove all the metal and glass, trash, all that from the creek that we're trying to make that like accessible.
Are you talking about where you was working at?
It's kind of in the corner there where you turn, where the road, the state road running goes by the general store and then you turn right.
Yeah, you don't
It's
notice
kinda
it when
down
you're
in the hole
driving.
there.
When you're walking around that area,
Okay.
it's like a big point of interest, actually.
It used to be a real pretty little spot there.
Right.
You know, because there was a lot of greenery, there was a place to sit, it was in the shade.
It is, that's what, yeah. That was kind of want to walk in.
So we're hoping maybe to make like a handle area, that's one of the areas where we thought about maybe not necessarily handle areas, but we're going to fiesta for the day. Put up there, so retail as well. We're making that like kids space, educational, like having information signs up there. Wouldn't tell you opposed to any of these things anyway, or is that for service properties anyway, where that's
The land is, so the land is included in the easement, the sign might be there, and it's something we can
It's in
talk
disrepair.
about, you know?
Yeah.
So it's usable space.
We'd actually,
100% it's in the easement.
we had discussed a beautification improvement there with the TVA a while back. And I think that again was something that when COVID happened, some of the plans just got taken. So I think, you know, it's something we could certainly fund via the TVA. I think check in with the resort and kind of getting an idea for that area. If they wanted to improve it as kind of a nice public use sort of recreational area, we could certainly then pursue funding some of that improvement via the TVA. Jason and Robin and Tom, everybody's on board.
It's cool.
Yeah, that is a cool little spot right there, it really is,
I
you know.
really like, yeah, my,
Not only that, but now as you cross Turkey Shoe, where that pavilion is, you know, it's got the yellow tape.
That's exactly where you were working.
No, that's a different space.
Okay. That's a cool space too.
That bridge is the, I don't know, Fontana Foundation, I believe, or whatever they're at. I'm sitting there, there's a trailer.
could something like preparing that bridge fall under town.
Under the PDA.
It would be TVA.
Yeah.
Copy that?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Every single.
That would be a good capital project.
Yeah.
That bridge as well, it's like a stop for them. For a lot of people, kids, that's their first time ever stopping and seeing it.
Right.
It's a trip, it's like to see that inside, it's pretty cool sometimes.
It's
It reminds me of things that take place.
Yeah, both of the turkey shoot entrance, like that you're saying, and the one over by the laundry are, those are some of the places I found like most interesting, other than like the totality of this place when I first got here. Like they're like a little special corner.
Yeah.
I have to take calls over there, kind of like they feel kind of like how the Stonehenge Laurelbrook Fire Pit or whatever does, where it's like when it's quiet, it's like it's a nice serene
Pretty
place.
cool hangout spaces. Having a number of those around the village would be optimal.
Well, and also where you could go and, you know, have one of those moments where you can have photographs for your family or significant other or something like that.
I would love to restore the path that goes up through the village on the, where all those old wooden bridges and stuff. Cause that was one reason why we redid the trout pond and put that pier and stuff, is that we were gonna do a whole walking trail around there to keep people off the road. And then like at the top of the village, put in something up there for picnic tables or something, cause there's not really anything up there for people to gather around.
In the village where if you're staying in this group of cabins, you got a little spot here. You know, you got
I
different.
like the whole thing of being able to have areas where, you know, that's the spot I wanna have my family picture taken at. You know, even if it's through your iPhone, but it's still a cool place.
Yeah,
Capture the moment.
yeah, and people, those used to be, they're in the shade a lot,
I
and, you
think
know.
I definitely think it's something we should look at.
No.
Sure. Great idea. Anything else?
That's just some quick things that I thought about that I want to throw in there, because I learned, that's just learned about how much we gotta fix the water is getting a little, put out.
Yeah,
I sort of threw something else in there.
We gotta have some good news in these meetings.
All right.
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Lacey?
All right. Next meeting is gonna be, I guess, March the 20th.
No, that's
April
today.
17th.
I did. That's today.
Time.
So it's April 19th, I believe. Okay.
I think it's the 17th.
Is it
Yes,
17th? Okay.
All right, if we don't have anything else, we can go ahead and adjourn, and the time, 6:53. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.